Hi guys, this is Miss Soshi, and today I'm going to be teaching how to do two-digit addition without regrouping. Now, in my class we've actually already learned this, but I'm just going to teach it again. That way you can review and practice, and if you were confused you can just watch this to kind of help you refresh your memory. So there are 5 ways I'm going to teach you. The last way is kind of like a secret. You don't have to know that one, but I'm just going to throw it in there anyway. Alright, so we are going to start with adding with a hundreds chart. So our problem is 54 plus 23. You might be wondering, well, I don't know how to add that, and I don't know how to use a 120 chart. So over here I've got our 120 chart, and whenever using a 120 chart, it's always important to start with the biggest number. So first we need to go find that number. So the biggest number here is 54. I'm going to find 54. And then I need to add 23. Well, when using a 120 chart, every time you go down a row, you're actually adding 10. Every time you go over one column, you're actually adding 1. And I've made these little things here to kind of help with that. So, like I said, every time you go down 1, you're adding 10. Every time you go over 1, you're adding 1. And every time you go to the left, you take away 1, and every time you go up, you take away 10. So I've made this one to kind of help here. So if it's 54 and I'm going to add 10, which way am I going to go? Up, down, this way, or this way? Well, so I'm going to go down. And how many groups of 10 are in this number? 2. So I'm going to go down twice. I'm going to add 2 groups of 10. So I'm going to do 10, 20. Okay, so I finished my 2, and now I need to do 3. Well, which way do I go when I'm adding ones? I go this way. So from this number, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So what's my answer then? What is 54 plus 23? It's 77. Ooh, that's a not so great right there. 77. Okay? Now, I am going to say this might be helpful or it might be confusing, so I don't want to confuse you with that. It's also important that we look at the place value of these numbers, okay? So we've got 5 groups of 10 and 4 groups of 1, 2 groups of 10, 3 groups of 1. So that's why we went down 2, because we had 2 groups of 10, and over 3 because we had 3 ones that we were already adding to this first number. Okay? So the next way is adding on an open number line. Now, when adding on an open number line, our number is going to get bigger. And when we use a number line, heading this direction, so to our right, is when the numbers get larger. So that means I'm going to start by putting my bigger number, which is 54, over here. And since 54 is going to get bigger, I want to go this way. So I'm going to start with 54. And I'm going to add 23. Well, even though we just did this on the last problem, I'm keeping the addition problem the same, just kind of to show you 4 ways of the same exact problem. Because guess what? We're going to get the same answer. We just got to prove it. So I again want to see how many 10s are in this number. And how many ones are in this number? All right, well, I have two groups of 10. So I'm going to do two big hops. 10, 20. And my hops need to look about the same so that I know that they're worth the same amount. So I added 10 here. Oops. And I added 10 here. So together, that makes 20. Well, what is 54 plus 10? 64. What's 64 plus 10? 74. All right, so we've done our 10s. Now I need to do our 1s. How many 1s? 3. So now I'm going to do 3 little hops. 1, 2, 3. Right, so each one is plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. All right, so 74 plus 1, 75. Plus 1 more is 76. Plus 1 more is 77. Okay? So, look at that. 77. So far, I think that the correct answer to 54 plus 23 is 77. But now we're going to check with a third way. So, this way is adding using place value. Now, here I've drawn two houses already. I like to teach place value with houses, just to kind of show that even though it's one number, it has different parts. Just like one house has different rooms. So, our first number is 54, and our second number is 23. So, 54 goes in one house, and I have 5 10s and 4 1s. And in my second house, I have 23. I have 2 groups of 10 and 3 1s. Okay. Now, remember how place value, it's just holding the value. Is this actually 5? If I broke this apart, is it 5 plus 4? No. It's actually 50 and 4, right? Yeah. And this is actually 20 and 3. So with place value, you break them apart, and then you add your 10s. So I'm just going to do a line here, so because this one has several steps, okay? So my next step is I'm going to take my 10s, my groups of 10, so 50 and 20. I'm going to add those. And I get, well, let's see, 0, 5, 6, 7, 70. Now I'm going to take my 1s, so 4 plus 3, and that gets me 7. And now I'm going to do 70 plus 7, because I have to take these two things and add them together to get my complete answer, and I get 77. Okay, so that's the place value method. Now for base 10 blocks. So I like to do base 10 blocks with 2 different colors, one for each different number. So I'll do my 54 with red, and I'll do 23 with blue. So 54, well, I've got to represent it with base 10 blocks. That's the whole thing. So don't forget that one stick is 10. So we have 54, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, I'll make these a little bigger, 51, 52, 53, 54. They don't have to be perfect. You can tell mine are not perfect. Okay, so I did my 54. Now I gotta do 23. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so now we're going to group them all together. That's our answer. But what number is this? Well, let's figure it out. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So we've got 7 tens. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. All right, so now we have 77. All right, and now for our last type of addition, the standard algorithm. So with the standard algorithm, you have to make sure that you stack your numbers one on top of the other so that the place values are matched up. Okay, so here's how I like to do it. I take this and then I just rewrite it like this. Okay, but you got to make sure that your ones are over top of each other and your tens are over top of each other. So I usually do a dotted line down the middle here because I add them. I'm only going to add my ones and my tens. All right, and then I like to label them. So these are my ones and these are my tens. All right. Because I have that line there, those two columns, so this column and this column, are not going to cross, okay? And this is without regrouping. So what is 4 plus 3? Well, it's 7. So I put a 7 under there, so it gets me 7 ones. What is 5 plus 2? It's also 7. But these are actually 10, so that gets me 7 tens. So what is our answer? 77. All right, so what is 54 plus 23? 77, and I have 5 different ways to prove it to you. So now I have some practice problems for you, and you can pause the screen here and take a minute, write these down on a blank piece of paper and solve them for yourself. You can use any of those 5 ways to prove it. And it's best if you can use 2 different ways to prove each answer. When you're done, you can, or while you're solving these, I recommend pausing this or going back to review the different ways. And then, once you hit play again, I'll have the answers on the screen. Good luck! All right. I hope these match what you've got, and even if they don't, that's okay. It just means you need to take a little extra time for practice, which practice never hurt anybody, okay? So keep it up, and if you have questions, let me know. I believe in you, and you can do it. Good job, and thanks for watching. Bye.